Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm going to show you how I do a money piece on my own hair. As you can see, I've previously done this. It's grown out quite a bit, and the ends are not as toned as they were because I've obviously washed the tone out of my hair. I do want to brighten it up a little bit, and so I'm going to show you how to put the money piece back in, how to do a touch up and brighten up the ends a little bit, as well as how I tone my hair. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix up what I have. I have the TG True Light White. When I mix up my lightener, I don't measure. I go by consistency instead. I'm using 30 volume. If I were to be doing like a partial foil or a full, I'd probably start with 20 volume, but I'm starting with 30 since I'm just doing a small section of my hair, and I do want it to process a little bit fast. I'm a level 6, so I have no problem with lightening my hair. So I just poured a little bit in there. I like to do enough to just cover the top and then go in and mix and mash it in there really good. Mix it some more. Now, as you can see, it's thick, but it's a little bit runny. I don't want it too thick and I don't want it too thin. The thicker this is, the faster it will process. So I just kind of do like a medium sort of consistency. I'll put the lid back on. It's important to close lids. And then I'll go with how I'm going to part my hair. Now I start with my hair parted out, how I always part it out. I'm an old mom, so I do a side part. And I'll go ahead, old school top section here. That's my baby. They're YouTubing with their kids, so they'll probably be running in and out of here. Okay, so that's that top section just right there. It's just simple. I don't do any fancy sort of like foiliage or anything like that. I'm doing this on myself, so I just do it the most simplest things. I feel like what matters the most is how close together you put your foils. And how your weaves are, or no weaves if that's what you do. I'll do a little bit of both actually. So you can see I have baby hairs here. I just had a baby about 9 months ago. I'm going to take out my first section. So this front section is the most important part of your hair because it will be basically what you see here this way. And two, when you pull your hair back, it's what everyone's going to see in your ponytail. And I always start with the front, even when I'm doing like a foil, like full foil or partial foil. Well, first I start with the back, but then I go to the front. When I'm coming to the front part of the hair, I start right here because it's going to be the first thing to lighten, and it's what usually people want to be the brightest part of their hair is around their face. So I just did a little baby weave in through there. So there's not going to be any thick, chunky part right there. And it's also going to blend back. These little areas around your face, you want to be seamless. So I'm just going to take a foil. When you're doing your own hair too, you want to put that like that. And you want to bend the foil towards you so that you can just take it and throw it right under there. Now I'm not going to go up here. That's going to cause bleeding. I'm going to start right there where it starts to get dark. Blend it down into the rest. Like that. And then I'm just going to, with the corner, wipe it down. And I'm not even worrying about getting up there at all. And then I keep my foils out. I bend that up, lift it up. This little section, bring it down, pull fold it back up one more time. That's the first part of my money piece. That's the little, and notice how this part was just a little section that I sectioned out. Now with this next piece, I'm going to take a bigger section than what I took from the little front section. Notice how thick that section is. And then with the hair that I'm going to foil, I'm just gonna take a little bit out from that section, just a little bit out, because I want all this big chunk of hair to be in my weave. And then I'm gonna foil bigger pieces, because we're gonna gradually make it chunkier as we go into the chunkier piece of our money piece. Okay, lay that down again, just like that. Start towards the bottom. And then just work on blending that up. And you don't have to go all the way to the top, because you want your main blonde parts to be right in this middle section here, but you want it to fade up. That was the baby. She turned off the light. Pull that tail part out. Fold that foil up. Lift it up. Bring the flap down so it makes it tighter. Bring your foil up to completely cover all the product you put in there. And that's that. Now with this next section, this is going to be my slice section. I like to have a little bit of hair in between because I want this to look as natural as possible. If you do too much blonde too close together, that's when it starts to look too, I don't know, ginger spice. Remember when she had just the front of her hair was like boom, boom, like that's her money piece right there, just full on bleach. That's not what I'm trying to go for. So for my part that's going to be a slice, it's going to be a thin slice. Okay, look at how thin that slice is. But it's going to show up to be like a chunkier piece of hair. You don't think so, but like less is more when you're doing a money piece. Okay. I'm going to grab a little bit more. That was a little crooked. I'm not weaving anything out of this one, because it's far enough away from my hairline to where I'm not going to have to weave it, and it's thin enough too to where it's not going to be extra chunky, but it's going to give you that money piece effect. Throw that on there. Start where I want it to be the blondest. That's going to be the most saturated part, right in through there. Bring it down into where it's already blonde. Then with this, it's going to start up here, down, and we're going to see. Then we're going to come right into here. I'm going to do this. You don't want to see your way. Down like that, and I even take this, do that a little bit. That's my technique. Fold that back up. I don't even really have much color up towards my roots, so I'm not being too crazy with it. And I think this time I want to do another slice because I want it to be even more noticeable than what I did last time. And you might not see a lot of hair over on this side. That's okay because I'm working off of this part. That's where I always part my hair. So I'm going to bring some of this out so we're not looking like ginger spice. Okay. And I want this to be maybe a little bit more extreme than my last one. We'll see how it plays out. Fold the flaps towards you. Put it under. Start in the spot where you want it to be the blondest. It's right there. Bring it down to meet your other blonde. And this one, I'll just slowly touch my roots a little bit. Not too close though. See that? Just like that. Bring the tail aside. Lift it up just a touch. Bring the foil up. Fold the flat down. Fold over. Now this is pretty much the front section of my hair with just these 4 foils right here. That's all you need. It's just 4 foils to do the money piece and dramatically lighten the front of your hair. Okay, so now I'm checking my first foil. Opening it up, it's actually lifted quite a bit. So I'm going to open this foil back up. I'm going to take some more color, put it in there. But remember I said I wanted the ends to be brighter this time. So I'm going to go through and put more on my ends. And we're going to process the rest of the way. Just going to fold that back up. We're doing this at home, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Your foils don't have to be super clean. It's okay. Mine are never folded up super clean, but my colors are always great. See? You can see. And you can see how that's not colored. That's okay too. Because when you put it back in with the rest of the hair, that's why I kept hair out in between. Everything's just going to blend really well. You're not going to see harsh lines, especially if you have a side part and you push your hair over to the side. Go through. Start in the area. Remember where you wanted it to be the blondest. All the way down. Then we're going to lift this hair up. And paint that back into the foil. Get those ends really good. I want those ends to be nice and blonde. Fold that back up. You'll notice when I fold it the second time that my foils become even smaller. And it's only been 10 minutes. I've had 30 volume on for 10 minutes. I'm a level 6. And my hair is already lightening up really well. So yeah, I'm going to go back through and keep applying this to the other 2 foils, and I'll be back when it's all done. Okay, so one more thing that I wanted to do, since I said that I wanted this front piece to be a lot brighter, is after I went in, I did my foils, I processed it to the point to where I wanted to get my ends to be lifted brighter. I remember I came back after 10 minutes. Now, with this piece that's left over out of all the foils, I'm going to lighten that too. I didn't want to do it to begin with because this hair is already blonde, and I wanted to limit the time that it has this 30 volume bleach on it. And since the top is almost done processing, I'm going to go through, get the hair to stick to the foil. That's where I want it to look. The blondest is right in through here. And I'm just swiping up with it. In the end, you're not going to see any heavy foil marks or anything. And I'm going to fold the rest of the hair back up into the foil. It's just really important to note, you want to make sure that you blend this part really well. Otherwise, if you're too heavy with the hand here, you blend it down and then you fold it back up, you're gonna get a line there. So after you're done blending it down, you really want to make sure you can put a little bit more back on your brush. Go to the spot where you first laid the brush down, right in through here, and just kind of paint that up. I mean, it's going to be kind of like balayaging too, because you're going to have a little bit of lightener out of the foil, but that's okay. And fold this back up into the foil. Now I'll be back when it's done processing, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so it's been about 40 minutes. I'm going to show you what it looks like when I want to take it out. Now, I'm not lifting this to be like white blonde because that's not within my tones. I have green eyes and obviously level 6 hair, and the rest of my hair is pretty natural looking, and I like to be natural looking, but I did want to bring my money piece up a notch. So that's what this whole big piece looks like right here. As you can see, there's still yellow tones in there, which is good because this isn't going to be a level 10, which is like the blondest you can get. I still want to have a little bit of gold to it when we're all done toning and whatnot. That's lifted pretty good. These out. This front piece right here is going to be my blondest piece. And so, yeah, now I have, as you can see, all this front section is going to be like super blonde. Obviously not too blonde, but a lot brighter than it was, and I'm really excited. I'm going to rinse this out, and then I'll show you what it'll look like when I'm toning it. Okay, so as you can see, this is what I look like after I rinsed out my hair. I didn't shampoo it yet with, I didn't do shampoo and conditioner. I just rinsed it out and I dried it. I usually tone on dry hair because I like to see what the actual tone of the hair is when it's dry. I know a lot of people, they'll tone on wet hair, and then they'll only tone it for like 5 minutes. First of all, you can't see what the actual tone of the hair is. You'll notice a lot more yellow or gold with orange tones in there that won't be there when it's dry because it lightens up a lot when it's dry. And then 2, when they tone on wet hair, they're only toning for like 5 to 15 minutes. I feel like that doesn't do a thorough job. You're not leaving the toner on for as long as it should be, and then it just washes out of the hair right away. This way it's going to stay in your hair much longer. Now the reason why I'm toning my hair is because I like my hair to look more natural, and this is obviously too bright for the rest of my hair. So what toning does is it takes out the gold tones or the yellow tones in your hair, and it tones it down a bit so that you have more of a natural look to your hair versus a bright look. Some people would like this, but like I said, it just doesn't go with the rest of my hair. So what I want to do is I do want to keep some of the gold tones, but I just want it to be not so like vibrant and bright on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Shades EQ by Redken. I'm going to use 9V mostly, but I'm just going to add in a little bit of 9V. If your hair was like a super pale yellow, you would mostly just use 9V, but since I do have, and this is probably easier for me to see, I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but I do have some like orange tones to it. I'm more of a trained eye though, so I can see that probably a lot better than you can, but that's why I'm just adding in a couple drops of the 9V. So I use a kitchen scale when I do this. I just put the bowl on there, tear it out, and I'm going to put in my 9V. I'm just going to go, that's good, 17 grams. I'll finish it off to about 20 with the 9V. And then because I do want it to be still more gold, I'm just going to put crystal clear in there. And what this does is it dilutes the solution because I don't want it to grab too purple or, you know, too purplish blue or whatever. I really want to have, when I'm done, I want it to be a finished product, and I don't want to have to wait for any of the stuff to lift out, and I am leaving it on for the full 20 minutes. So 75% of 20 is 15, so we're just going to go bring this up to 35. And then I'll put my processing solution equal parts to 70. That's okay, it's okay. Mix it all together. I am a licensed hairstylist, so I can get these products. But if you were to tone your hair at home, you can use Wella. I believe it's Wella, the T18 or T14. T14 is what you're going to use if you want to tone out lighter hair. So if you brought your money piece to super light without barely any gold in there, you'd use that. Or T18. I don't know. You might want to check. One of them's blue. One of them's violet. Those are good toners you can use. But you want to mix this up nice and good. And then you want to apply it to your hair. I'm going to do this in sections. I don't have any gloves, but just going to apply this to my roots first. And it doesn't matter if you get your other hair in there. Then I'm going to go back through. You want a nice even application. And I'm just going to bring it all the way down. Sorry. My baby's standing.
She's good at it.
She's 9 months old and she can now stand. I'm starting on the floor. That's pretty cool. She gets into a lot more stuff now though. And I will let this process for the full 20 minutes and I'll see you after it's all rinsed out. Okay, so here's my after. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's nice and toned. There isn't any purple left behind or anything. It's just a really pretty color. I can show you what it looks like outside. So here it is outside. Really pretty. I'm so happy to go to work now that my hair is done. And you can see this is not breakage. This is my hair just growing back after having a baby. But one thing I want to say is, like I said, don't be afraid to leave the toner on for the full amount of time that it needs. As long as you're properly diluting it and you're using the color wheel, you're really going to end up with a very beautiful toned color. Um, Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me if there are any other hair videos that you'd like me to do next, because I'd be happy to show you guys some more tips if you like hair cutting, updos, braiding, more colors, maybe even waxing videos. Like, I can show you anything. But thank you for watching. I hope you like the way my hair turned out. Comment if you like the way my hair turned out, and I will see you next time.